A lot of people have a great fear of spiders or heights. My biggest fear always used to be talking to random girls I found attractive. I had insane social anxiety to the point where I was sure that I really was autistic for some time. I'm not autistic at all. Well, I don't know if it's at all, but I was sure that I had autism. So talking to random people already was scary. Talking to the cashier when buying stuff, asking someone for a pen, asking someone for directions. I didn't want to do it. But talking to a random girl my age, that just felt literally impossible. I started to freeze up, all my muscles got tense, I started to look uncomfortable. I just tried to get out of the conversation ASAP. I had to learn every single little detail by myself. Trial and error. I was that weird guy so often it was wild. I did weird stuff because I didn't know what was normal and what wasn't. I had to figure it out. Now, I can hold a fun conversation and get results with girls, but I'm also really conscious on how to do it and how not to do it, because I had to learn everything step by step. And of course I'm not perfect yet, but in this BLA, I will teach you how to improve your game, because if one teaches, two learn.
A sparkling cocktail of useful information. She didn't have a chance.
What are your suggestions?
We'd really worked on her paper, too. In 45 minutes, it was a polished.
As you saw, the main character got his way. He professionally rizzed her up, And that's really interesting, because if you would look at the beginning of this exact scene, it wouldn't look like it. Okay, he looked like a completely different guy, but then something clicked. His entire body language switched. And we're gonna look at this exact part.
Especially not my landlord's nasty young wife.
Alec, Tuesday.
Look, enough, okay? Steve handles the rent, so you can feed your crap to.
You can instantly see that kind of dynamic that is happening here. You see how she's on the front foot, stepping forward to him, being all up in his face, complaining and all that. While he's kind of, he's static. He's like rigid. He's on the back foot. He's already trying to get out of the conversation. She comes really close and he's kind of freezing up.
I suddenly had extra reason to get.
You see that? It looked like he slowly, his entire body language closed up. This little frown right here. And he looks like he's on the back foot. He looks like he's trying to, get away, get further back, further away from her. This is the kind of dynamic you don't want. Because in this scenario, even though it's like an argument, she's the one initiating the conversation. She's the one leading the conversation, talking about what she wants to talk about, which in this case is arguing. He, on the other hand, is just partaking in that conversation. So we have this dynamic where she's leading the whole conversation and he's just trying to tag along. And that's what you don't want to happen, because women are not attracted to the guy who's, doing whatever she wants, just following her around. That's not attractive at all. Women want a man that can take the lead, that is dominant, that knows what he wants and just ruthlessly follows on that. So if he thinks he doesn't want to talk about this, if he would be an attractive, dominant guy, he would just change the topic. He would tell her to stop, being all up in his face. He wouldn't be on the back foot. He wouldn't be trying to get out of the conversation. He would initiate a new one.
Away from her, I had thoughtlessly ingested.
You see how he's slowly stepping back? Being on the back foot is a metaphorical way to say that someone's not as engaged in a conversation, but he is literally on the back foot. He is literally trying to get, further back. That's how you can also see that body language. Sure, you can think it's a lot of guessing game where you're like, oh, I think he's feeling that way. Most of the times you see people doing stuff like he's trying to go back here, and you can just see that his entire characteristic right now is matching that action. He's on the back foot in a literal way, and he's trying to get out of the situation here.
A substance.
Like the rent's not low enough.
I had gotten remarkably little information from Vernon about what this drug would do.
You could even be a bike messenger and come up with that, really.
And here you can see how he's looking all across the room except at her. That just shows that he's not present. I think that's really obvious. Especially girls can really quickly tell if you're present or if you're in your head thinking about something else. And being present is really attractive, and it's a phenomenal way to stand out nowadays, because through social media, it's really rare that you get someone who's consistently present throughout a conversation, because everyone's so up in their head about some shit they saw online. They all got short attention spans. So if you're able to pay attention to someone, look them in the eyes, and just listen to what they say, and then follow up on what they said, ask questions based on that, it's really attractive. And that's called active listening. When I heard the concept of active listening, it changed my life. So active listening is essentially a way to let a conversation flow naturally. I was always really bad at it because I always had this thing where I only ask questions. It was like a interview style conversation where you ask one question. It's like, oh, where are you from? Question. And then the other person answers, and then they just ask the same question back. And then you just ask a new question, and then answer, and then they question back. So, where are you from? Oh yeah. Where are you from? Oh yeah, cool. How many sisters do you have? I don't got no siblings. Oh, okay. How about you? No. And then it's like, where you come from? And then it's just so boring. It's so boring. It's like, who cares? Who gives a shit? I don't care if you have a sister. I generally don't care. And let's be honest, if you just try to sleep with a girl, you don't care if she has a sister or not. You're just trying to bridge time to, talk about something because you think that's the way. It's not helping at all. It makes you seem really fucking boring. So this doesn't work. Instead, we can do active listening. So the way I personally do it is I start with a statement. Just like, let's see you see a girl on, I don't know, across the street, and you think she's fine, so you go over and you just say something. And you start with a statement. So, for example, she has Starbucks, and you say something like, you're addicted to Starbucks, aren't you? That's kind of a question, but it's more of a statement, right? And then she has, or she doesn't have to, but it's very likely that she will, explain herself or say something. And then you just look at what she says. So, for example, she answers to this statement. She says, oh no, I just went out, I was walking my dog, and then I saw this great coffee shop, and I've never been there ever. I've only ever in Miami, I've only ever been there and there. And then she says some stuff, and you listen to her, and then there, in the sentence that she speaks, there are multiple jumping points. Jumping points is something that you could essentially target and ask the question about. So let's say she was walking her dog, right? She said that she was walking her dog. You could take that as a jumping point. Walking her dog. Oh, what kind of dog do you have? Oh, really? Oh yeah, how long have you had that? And then you just try to, get more kind of jumping points out of that. Of course, walking your dog and talking about the dog isn't as interesting either. So maybe you take something else as, I don't know, she was living in Miami. So you just make another statement about people in Miami or something, right? Something that you find interesting. The point is that you have fun. Because if you're being honest, you don't have fun if you have this interview style questions. So active listening makes it really natural. It makes a really natural conversation because it's just she says something and you can't script beforehand what she's going to say. So it seems like you got great social skills, and also you will have a lot of fun because you can talk about whatever you want to. And if you feel like there are no jumping points that you want to talk about, you do another statement, something about her or something about something, really, and you just act like it's a fact, and then she will talk about that, and then you can take other jumping points. So this entire concept is called active listening. It's really, really good.
What if it was a hallucinogen?
It's pathetic.
Oh my god. Listening to her rag, if I were tripping, I'd jump out a fucking window.
Hello? Are you listening to me? Do you get it? You are gonna be...
And here's another thing. There's something called the 80-20 rule. That means that 20% of your actions get you 80% of the results. So there are very few things that you can do that get you a lot of the results. In terms of body language, one of those few things that give you a lot of the results is eye contact. Okay? Eye contact is just really important. This is one of the major differences between guys who get girls and guys who don't get girls. It's simply eye contact with the girl they find attractive. Because guys who don't get girls are so intimidated by their beauty that they can't hold good eye contact. And girls pick up on that. And they think, if you can't hold eye contact with me because you're intimidated by my beauty, how the hell are you going to survive in real life? How the hell are you going to provide for my children? So what you really want to do is constant, strong eye contact. Of course, breaking it from time to time, not being a weirdo. But eye contact is really, really important. It's probably more important than what you say. Try to just practice that. If you're not good at eye contact right now, that's normal. A lot of guys are not good at eye contact. But that doesn't mean that you could just keep being bad at it. Go outside, walk past people, have eye contact with them, say hello, and then progress. Start having conversations with people, have strong eye contact while you're talking, and then, you start progressing slowly to having, eye contact with girls.
Out on the streets.
And then I felt
You
it.
don't have a place to live.
Remember, by the way, this entire time she's still talking to them. They still have a conversation, and he's just so much in his head here that he just completely, just ignores her. Imagine how fucked that would be if you talk to someone, they just start looking around, imagining them walking up and then kind of looking at them. How weird is that? They just make up a whole fucking romance novel or whatever the fuck in their head while you talking to them, trying to have a conversation. That's fucked, though.
I was blind, but now I see. What's wrong?
So my brother just logged in. This is the turning point of this entire thing. So before you saw him on the back foot, he had weak eye contact, wasn't present. And now we will see how he recovers from that and ends up bagging her. And yes, that's it. You see the girl smile. You can make her smile and giggle. You can make that ass clap and jiggle. And that's it. You will just see them sleeping with each other now. I will not play that again. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Stay big man.